Welcome to the Mars in Cancer Astrology forecast for September 6, 2024. I'm your astrologer, Patricia Tate. I specialize in traditional, Western, and evolutionary astrology. Today, I'm excited to dive into the significance of Mars entering the watery sign of Cancer and what it means for each of us this month. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I invite you to like and subscribe and to share to help the community grow. For those of you who've been here to support me on this journey, thank you very much for your continued support, your presence, and engagement. It really means the world to me. To learn more about my offerings, visit willowgracemystic.com. So now let's dive in and explore the cosmic currents together. On September 6, 2024, Mars is now going to enter into the sign of Cancer. This is going to be marking the beginning of this extended focus on your home, your family, emotional security. Now, typically, Mars is the planet of action and passion and drive. It wants to cut. It wants to dive right in. It's about ambition, and it spends about 2 months in each sign. But this time, due to the upcoming retrograde, Mars is going to stay in the sign of Cancer for a much longer than usual period that's going to be influencing these areas of your life until early next year. Mars in Cancer is really complex. This transit becomes about Mars and its fiery assertive nature, and the energy doesn't easily align with Cancer's nurturing, protective, emotionally driven nature of the sign. And when Mars enters into Cancer, your focus is going to shift like inward towards matters of your home, your family dynamics, your real estate, your emotional well-being. You might find yourself like feeling more motivated to tackle these issues that are related to your living situation, or renovating or improving your home or your address. Anything that could be these long-standing family concerns are now going to come to the top of your to-do list. The significance of the retrograde shadow period is Mars being in Cancer is going to be covering these same degrees that it's going to later revisit during its retrograde in the late days of December until the end of January 2025. Now, this shadow period is crucial as it signals this area of your life that's going to be requiring reassessment, reflection during this retrograde. Remember that retrogrades are to refine, refocus, realign. And so expect themes that are related to your home, your family, your personal security, all of these topics to now emerge. And they will be urging you to review them and possibly to revise your approach to these matters. Now, your home and family is going to be a focus, and you might have this strong urge that you're going to want to protect and to care for your home and your loved ones when Mars moves into Cancer. And then you'll be reflecting on it and coming back to the same topics. This is possibly leading you into actions that are aimed for you to be creating a more secure and a comfortable living environment. Cancer's influence, it can mean that you are making emotional issues more prominent in your life, because Mars' presence, it may intensify your feelings. It's leading you to this greater need to address any underlying emotional tensions within your family or your home. Your real estate, your property, your Cancer is your foundation of your life. And so if you're involved in any real estate transactions, home renovations, this period can really bring both challenges and opportunities. Mars energy can really drive you into action. But the retrograde shadow period, it's warning you that this is the same area that you're going to need to come back and revisit these plans later on. So I'm encouraging you to proceed with care. Use Mars energy as being assertive and going after this powerful dynamic in order for you to make these necessary changes in your home or in your family life, whether it's setting healthy boundaries or improving your communication style or techniques, or making the physical changes needed to your living space. This is going to be a time that you're going to want to strengthen the foundations of which you build your life upon. The retrograde shadow is going to indicate these unresolved issues that can resurface, particularly those related to any family dynamics that show up, or you and your feelings of emotional security. Take this opportunity to truly look at and address these matters and look at them so you can go head on and aim at healing and fortifying your home environment. Mars coming into Cancer on September 6th of 2024 is going to initiate this period of intense focus and passion and drive, where you're going to want to focus on your home, your family, your roots, your foundation, your past. This extended stay due to the upcoming retrograde is going to add these layers of complexity, urging you to take this thoughtful and considered action in these areas with an understanding that some adjustments may be necessary in order for you to move on later on in the year. This month's offerings, I'm so excited to announce the upcoming launch of my Patreon. It's designed for those of you who are eager to dive in and understand a deeper astrological knowledge, or just to want to get early access to the information. Stay tuned for the details, and to sign up, you can visit willowgracemystic.com. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list for those exclusive astrological insights and any updates on upcoming specials. And for all Virgos, I'm offering a special discount on a personalized solar return readings for the month. Use code Virgo10 to receive your discount at checkout. Schedule your appointment today by visiting my website. And additionally, I am offering live astrology consultations every other Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And to reserve your spot and get in the queue, sign up using the link below. I look forward to connecting with you all soon. So for Aries Sun and Aries Rising, it's really important to follow Mars through the chart because it is your chart ruler. And so as we look at where Mars is entering, it's moving into your fourth house. The fourth house for you represents your home, your family, your roots, your foundation, your emotional foundations. The fourth house is about real estate, property, traditions. It brings in topics of your living situation or genealogy or your generational grandparents, your relationships within those family members. It is everything that you build your life upon. And so as Mars, your chart ruler, moving into your fourth house, we know that this has to do with your identity and what you are building. So the focus for you is going to be on building your home and your family, and it's going to become this incredibly pronounced theme within your life. You might feel this intense drive to make these substantial changes within your living situation or your living environment, such as initiating some possible renovations or moving or rearranging your home to better suit your needs. Family matters could also come to the forefront with this emphasis on resolving past issues or past conflicts. The goal is to strengthen your family bonds in order to deal with these related issues that involve your parents or your ancestry. This transit, it truly encourages you to take this decisive action in order to move forward and create the secure and nurturing space in order for you to live within or for your own foundation. The upcoming retrograde is going to indicate that these changes that you initiate now, they might require revisiting, rethinking, revising, redoing. You might need to reassess your approach to your family dynamics, or possibly uncover the hidden attentions that are going to be needing to be readdressed at this time. The energy of Mars brings about emotional volatility. Remember, Mars is the planet of action, and it cuts, it severs. And so these topics are going to need to be addressed at this time. It's about you focusing on how can I move forward with this energy constructively? How can I focus on healing and what needs to be strengthened within my familial foundations? I'm encouraging you to be prepared for this introspection and this personal growth as your home life becomes the area or the arena in your life that you are going to be making significant developments for transformation. So on September 6, 2024, when Mars does shift into your fourth house, it's going to begin this extended period of influence on this area, and it's going to be you wanting to take powerful drive, action, and address any challenges as they come up head on. Aries works on impulse first, and it's action, and then it thinks later. And so you and your emotional health and well-being, and this will be you wanting to harness Mars's dynamic energy to make these constructive changes that can strengthen your foundations and confront the any unresolved issues. Know that whatever you are uncovering now, you may rediscover in order to realign later. Mars retrograde is offering you an opportunity to go back and reflect on your actions now. So in order to navigate this transit successfully, it's balancing Mars's energy with mindfulness, ensuring that your actions are aligned with your true values and your long-term goals. So Aries, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Taurus Sun and Taurus Rising, Mars is going to enter into your third house of communication, your connection with siblings, your local environment. The third house revolves around topics of writing and journaling and short distance travel. It's your local neighborhood. The third house is how you say things. It's how you communicate. It's where you connect with other people and openly talk back and forth. It's transportation. It's your daily commute. It's where we acquire new skills. It's in a harmonious aspect with your rising sign. And so it is saying that I am here to help you align. So with Mars totally energizing your third house, this is your communication styles. They're going to become more assertive, more direct, more moving forward with, no, this is what I meant to say. This is you being crystal clear with your thoughts and your actions. You might find yourself engaging in more lively conversations or discussions with other people, or debates, or possibly even arguments. The third house revolves around how you express yourself and communicate with people on a day-to-day basis. And this is you expressing your ideas with greater conviction. Mars wants to go after. It wants to cut through. It wants to initiate. And so this is going to be an excellent time if you want to tackle any writing projects, anything that has to do with getting your words written down, or launching a blog, or engaging in any community activities where you need to communicate. Your relationship with your siblings or your neighbors, it might require a little bit more attention during this time, possibly leading to some conflicts that you need to resolve. Mars's influence can bring about this sense of urgency to your day-to-day interactions. This is really pushing your boundaries, and you saying, I have to address these issues head on. I have let them linger under the surface for way too long. It's time to not sweep things underneath the rug, but to look at them, openly discuss them, and move on. Now, additionally, short trips, local travel, because the third house is how you communicate in your local neighborhood. These topics can become more frequent, where you might want to initiate or go after. Now, the retrograde shadow period is going to suggest that these are going to also be the areas that you're going to want to go back and take a second look at. This is you looking at maybe any misunderstandings or miscommunications. So be aware of what's initiated now that you might need to go back and review and reflect on in order to reinitiate or reestablish later. It's important to stay mindful of how you communicate and to avoid being overly aggressive or overly assertive or impulsive in your actions, because Mars wants to initiate. It wants to go after. And so with this transit is truly offering you the opportunity to sharpen your communication skills. Think of Mars as a sharp blade. It wants to cut through. It wants to navigate. It wants to initiate. And so how can you learn the value of listening and understanding other people's perspectives, all while initiating the connection or the communication between the two of you? So when Mars enters into Cancer on September 6th, it's going to begin this extended period of time for you that's going to have an influence of your life that's governed by the way that you communicate and things that you need in order to feel secure. And that could be home and family and foundation, and you taking the action to address these challenges and to initiate the change of emotional security, emotional stability in the way that you communicate and share your thoughts and ideas, or in the ways that you write or journal. The third house is, how do I get the information out and how do I receive information? And so this time period is going to offer an opportunity for you to harness Mars's dynamic energy in order to make the constructive changes that can strengthen your foundations that revolve around communication styles with neighbors, siblings, cousins, neighborhood, people that you meet on a day-to-day basis, and refining your approach of the way that you talk. Meaning, do you need flexibility? Do you need patience? Looking at yourself where you might need to revisit some of these, your approach in order to refine it. And so the key to navigating this transit successfully is to be in balance with Mars's assertive energy and be mindful and with your actions and your words, and make sure that they are aligned with your true values and your long-term goals. So Taurus, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. Gemini Sun and Gemini Rising, Mars is now going to be moving into your second house, which revolves around topics of your personal finances, your possessions, your skill set, your money, your cash, your property. It's your personal wealth. It's your self-worth. The second house revolves around topics of, what do I need in order to feel safe and secure, financially, emotionally, spiritually. It's about security. And so it has to do with your values, your opinions, your talents, your skill set. So when Mars moves into your second house, this is going to place this spotlight on your financial situation, your personal resources, things that you covet dearly to yourself. You might feel this surge of motivation to increase your income, to go after, to say, no, this is my value, this is my worth, this is my skill set, this is what I want, need, and desire. Perhaps you start a side hustle, or you look into an investment opportunity, or you seek a raise at work. All of this is you initiating these topics in your life in order to have security. This is also going to be a time that you're going to want to reassess your spending habits. So Mars can really push you to your looking at your impulsive purchases and look for risky financial decisions. And so remember, Mars initiates, it jumps first or leaps first and then asks questions later. So Mars in this house can really stir up some issues that are related to your sense of self-worth, your values, your opinions, urging you to truly take a closer look at what really matters to you. It's, are you aligned financially with your long-term goals? Are your core values aligned? You taking a close look at, how are you spending? Like, where are you spending? Like, what are your spending habits? And does this support your long-term goals in the way that you are setting yourself up for success? The retrograde shadow period is going to indicate the financial matters that are initiated now. So make sure that you're focusing on, like, what am I initiating? Because I'm going to come back and review, rethink, revise, realign, revamp. All of these topics that may require revision later. And it's wise for you to use caution when proceeding and moving forward, and avoid making any hasty decisions about where your money and your resources go. This period is going to offer you a chance to truly build some financial security, and for you to reevaluate your relationship with money, with things that you value. It's going to be a great time to truly set these clear financial goals and to create a budget that you can live within and invest in areas that align with your core values. By doing so, you're going to be better prepared for your ability to handle any financial challenges that arise later. It's when Mars moves into Cancer on September 6th, it's bringing about this period that's going to influence the need for security of where you need to take action, of home and my who do I value? What do I value? What are my resources? How do I address these challenges? How do I initiate changes in these areas of my emotional and financial security? Now, the retrograde is going to be this powerful time that you're going to go back and reflect on the decisions that you're making now and saying, am I aligned? Do I need to fine tune and tweak it? Make careful consideration, knowing that you might reevaluate this later and have this opportunity to harness Mars's dynamic energy to make these constructive changes in order to strengthen your foundations. Mars wants to cut, sever, and remove. And so this is an opportunity to confront any unresolved issues that have to do with your money, your spending, or the things that you are collecting or keeping. As the key in order to navigate this transit successfully is for you to work with, how do I balance Mars's assertive energy with the mindfulness that comes from the Cancer watery energy. Mars has a hard time cutting anything in water, and Cancer is all about water, feelings, and emotion. And so this is you being mindful of your actions and making sure that they are aligned with your true core values and your long-term goals. So Gemini, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com, and to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Cancer Sun and Cancer Rising, this is really important because Cancer is your rising sign. Mars moving into your first house is all about your personal goals, how you look, how you act, your physical energy. It's your self-expression. The first house is your identity. I always say it's like your business card or your website, and you are making major changes to it. Mars wants to initiate. It wants to have the energy to cut, sever, and remove, to go after. And so Mars entering into your first house of self, it's bringing this significant boost to your personal energy, your personal drive, your identity. You're likely to feel more assertive, more confident, more bold, and ready to take on challenges as they come at you. This is accepting them head on. This is going to be an ideal time for you to initiate any personal projects that you have had on the back burner and start possibly a new fitness program, or assert your independence, to start a side gig, to start a project, any of these areas of your life. Mars's influence here, it can make you more passionate and more independent, and saying, I am determined to pursue this goal and to meet these, to finish this goal. I want to move forward with and initiate progress. And so it can also lead to impatience. It can lead to conflicts if you feel like your autonomy is being threatened. because Mars is very direct. It's confrontational. And so you might notice that you have this increase in your physical energy, making this really a great time for you to look at any physical activities or sports or anything that gets you out and gets you moving. This is all about you and your mind and your body. Now, the upcoming retrograde is going to suggest that anything that you've initiated now, you might want to go back and reevaluate or refurbish, take a second look at later. This is going to be important for you to pace yourself in order to set yourself up for success. You don't want to have burnout, so the goal would be to avoid burnout by taking on too much too quickly. This transit is going to offer you this powerful opportunity to move forward with self-discovery and personal growth, but it's also going to require balance and self-awareness of you knowing what are your personal limits. When you start to confront these unresolved issues that are related to your identity and your self-worth, it's I want to initiate this. I want to take the bull by the horns and say, I want to move past this. This is a bad habit. This is unhealthy. I want to be a better me. And so you might need to confront these unresolved issues and look at where do they weigh you down with your identity, with your self-awareness. Using Mars's energy, you can use it to cut through and transform these areas in a positive way. Be mindful of how you assert yourself in all types of relationships and the way that you communicate, because this transit can also heighten your sensitivity to what other people's opinions are about you, or their reactions about what you are initiating or starting, and knowing whether you feel validated in what they're doing. So when Mars does enter in your first house of self on September 6th, it's going to be this extended period of time where the influence is going to be governed by your feelings, your emotions, and this powerful drive for you to want, need, and desire the taking of action to address challenges, to initiate change, all in the form of who you are. Feeling like your emotional well-being is on the chopping block, and you saying, what am I willing to cut away from myself? Am I willing to, is this going to be cut your hair? Is this going to be, it'll be about changing. And having Mars in your first house is going to offer you this opportunity to harness Mars's energy in a dynamic way that you can make these constructive changes to strengthen the foundation of who you are, and say, this is who I am, and be willing to revisit your approach. And in order to navigate this, you're going to have to balance Mars's passion and drive and the mindfulness that comes with Cancer. Because as a Cancer, you are full of emotions and feelings. And not only do you feel your own, you feel others. And so the goal of this is for you to ensure that your actions, whatever you say and do and begin, that they are aligned with your true values and your long-term goals, because the end will be a new you. So Cancer, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Leo Sun and Leo Rising, Mars is going to be entering into your 12th house. The 12th house is the house of introspection. It's solitude. It's being alone. It's about spiritual growth, your hidden enemies, self-sabotage. The 12th house is where we go and we tap into our dreams and our intuition. It's also the house of prisons and institutions and hospitalization. It's meditation, spiritual retreats, rest. It's where we are alone and in solitude. It's also the house of karmic debts and where we can go to heal and renew. And so with Mars now entering into your 12th house, this turns the focus for everything for you inward, and it's going to promote this period that you're going to experience deep introspection with spiritual exploration. This transit can bring about any hidden fears or subconscious patterns that you notice, and it'll like bring them bubbling to the surface, allowing you to confront and to address them head on. Mars wants to cut and sever and remove. And so you might feel drawn to spend more time in solitude, reflecting on past actions or their impact on your current life. This is going to be an excellent time that you can practice spiritual practices like meditation or yoga, or tap into emotional healing of your wounds through journaling or therapy or counseling. The 12th house is where we are like the Akashic records, dreams, intuition, psychic ability. It's receiving messages from beyond. And so it's going to be like this time that you're going to be able to cut and work through any unresolved issues to heal the emotional wounds of that's either been passed down from one generation to another or from in lineage of grandparent to parent to you. The Mars energy wants to cut and sever, and in Cancer it's emotional and feelings and intuition. And so the 12th house governing hidden enemies and self-sabotage. And you might feel like that you need to be cautious of these actions because these habits that have undermined your success. I always say the 12th house is like the broken record. It's what I hear over and over in my head. You're not worthy. You can't do it. Blah, 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 blah. And so the Mars in the 12th house is encouraging action of the energy that's best channeled towards understanding and transforming your inner world. This transit is going to offer you this opportunity to clear out any emotional and psychological baggage that you've been holding on to, and how do I pave the way for a fresh start. When Mars enters into your first house next, it'll be a time that you're going to be able to prepare for new growth. And so the goal is I want to get rid of what is holding me back. So when Mars moves into Cancer, I can move forward with healing of a new me. The first house is about your identity, and you are working on clearing out karma in order to address who you are under everything that you have been going through and transforming. It's a look back at your past and saying, I'm ready to move on from this. When Mars enters Cancer on September 6th, it's going to be this long period of influence of cutting, severing, and addressing head on things that have been coming up. And this can be emotional or psychological or physical in nature, because the transit is giving you this opportunity to harness Mars's energy now in order to make these constructive changes within you in order for you to strengthen these foundations and confront the unresolved issues, so that when Mars moves into your first house, it's I feel better, I feel lighter, I feel like I'm ready to move on. The key to navigating this transit successfully is to balance Mars's assertive energy and the mindfulness that can come with Cancer, and ensure that your actions, all that you say and do for yourself, that you are aligned with your true values and your long-term goals. Remember that we are only responsible for our actions, and we cannot ask other people to change for us. Mars here is saying you focus on you and your reactions to them. It's all about you, your identity, and you healing and renewing. It's an opportunity to transcend and move forward. So Leo, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Virgo Sun and Virgo Rising, Mars is now entering into your 11th house. The 11th house for you represents your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your social aspirations. It's your groups and your networks. It's the house of you connecting with others in order to fulfill things that you want to do in your life. It's social networks, it's group activities, it's your long-term goals. So when Mars moves into your 11th house, your energy to socialize becomes ignited. It's you focused on socialization, your long-term aspirations. It makes this period of increased activity within your networking and group affiliations. This is also the house where we align with other people to either volunteer or to help support the groups or community. So you might feel motivated now to take on like a leadership role within your community, or you might want to take on or pursue collective goals with like fire and passion and drive. Mars wants to initiate. It wants to move forward. This is going to be a time for you to focus on what are your long-term dreams and goals? What are your aspirations? Mars's influence here can provide the drive, the determination, the passion, the desire in order for you to move forward and make the significant progress that you need in order to push through and finish. It's like seeing it and saying, now I need to put the horse blinders on and just move forward. Now, Mars's influence can provide the drive and the determination in order to have this progress, and the difficulty that comes with it is Mars can be straight to the point, and the influence can be, I could have a difference of opinion with objectives or my connections with other people. Remember that this is your group networking house, and so the shadow period, there can be some conflicts. There can be this can be with friendships, your like star family groups. Now these conflicts, they can arise. This is particularly if there are differences in your opinions with others and you being more vocal about it. It's really going to be essential that you're going to navigate these situations with diplomacy and be open-minded in order to work through some type of a compromise, especially if it comes down to actions and words. This transit is really encouraging you to reassess your connections with other people and within the groups. Whether do you align, and does this align with your long-term goals? Are these groups that you're involved with, are they supporting your growth? Are they holding you back? Mars's energy here is going to say, I am going to give you the necessary energy to make these adjustments that to move forward, that will strengthen the important relationships that you have with other people in order for you to let go of those and things that no longer serve you. It's like they are cut away and they flow to the wayside because Cancer is water and Mars wants to cut. And so it will strengthen the important relationships and others will just flow away. It's going to be a powerful time to align your actions with your aspirations, using your social networking skills as a platform in order for you to achieve these goals. Now, be prepared to come back and revisit this during the retrograde period, and to make any adjustments that are needed to ensure that they are sustainable. Because when Mars moves into Cancer on September 6th, it will be here for this extended period of time, truly illuminating where you have this powerful opportunity to take action, for drive, for passion, to address challenges, to initiate change in your life. And the retrograde is going to go back and have you review, rethink, revise, reestablish. And so there might be some things that you cut now and that you might go back and rethink about later. The goal of Mars is for you to make these constructive changes in order to strengthen your foundation and confront any unresolved issues that you have within the group dynamics and in where you want to move forward with your personal goals. When Mars stations through the sign into the sign of Cancer, The key to navigating this transit successfully is to balance Mars's passion and assertive energy with mindfulness, because Cancer is water, and it's intuition and it's feelings, and it's you having this opportunity to ensure that your actions are aligned with your true values and your long-term goals of what you want to achieve. So Virgo, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Libra Sun and Libra Rising, Mars is now entering the top of your chart. It is your career sector, your public image, it's authority figures, it's your life goals, it's the top of your chart. It's how other people look up and see you, taking responsibility for things. It's really important that you are taking advantage of this burst of ambition and passion and drive, focusing on your career, your public life. Mars navigating this area is going to have you feeling like you are driven to achieve these goals, professional goals or personal goals, possibly taking on new responsibilities or seeking a promotion, saying, this is my worth, this is my value, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is what I desire, striving to enhance your public image. Mars here is, I want to cut away, this is how I want to be seen, this is how I want to be known. This will be a time that you're truly going to assert your authority in order for you to showcase your leadership skills, because Mars's influence here can really propel you to the forefront of your field. It just cuts you to the front of the line. Remember that Mars is action, passion, and drive, and it's sharp and it cuts. And Cancer is watery, intuitive, and feeling. And so together, this is moving you forward with passion and drive, where you intuitively know where you need to go and what you need to do. Now, the retrograde shadow is going to be a period where it's going to be warning you of your actions that you take now in your career goals that you might need to go back and reevaluate later. Know that it'll be reevaluate, reconnect, redo, refine, review, all of those rewords. So know that whatever you are initiating, you're going to go back and think about this, because in order to remain strategic and avoid making impulsive decisions that could impact your long-term reputation, you might have to go back and reflect, review during the retrograde period. Mars is impulsive, so this will definitely be a time when you are going to leap first and think later. This is jumping forward. So think of this as an opportunity for you to reassess your life goals that ensure that your career path, it aligns with like your true aspirations. Think of it as, are you pursuing a path that genuinely fulfills your heart and your soul? Are you driven by external pressures and expectations? Mars's energy here can really help you make these necessary adjustments, whether it means doubling down your efforts or a quick pivot and a cut into a new direction. Be mindful of your public interactions, because Mars here will have you in the limelight. Everybody will be able to see things that you do. This transit really heightens your visibility, making it crucial for you to maintain your professionalism and it's your integrity in all that you do. This period is going to be this powerful time for your career advancement, but it requires a lot of like careful planning and self-awareness in order to ensure that it has this lasting success. Because when Mars moves into Cancer on September 6th, it's going to be leaping headfirst without thinking and acting and being in the right place at the right time. And some of your actions might not, you might have to reconsider, rethink, review when Mars stations retrograde at the end of December and throughout January. The transit is going to be a powerful time for you to take this action, address the challenges, go after what you want for your career, initiate the changes in order for you to feel secure. This is an opportunity to strengthen the foundations and confront any unresolved issues that you have about your career, your public life, your life path, honors, awards, your public reputation. The 10th house is about success, achievement, and responsibilities. And Mars here says that if you navigate this time, you can practice mindfulness, ensuring that your actions are aligned with your true core values and your life goals of how you want to be known and the legacy of what you want to leave behind. So Libra, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Scorpio Sun and Scorpio Rising, Cancer is your 9th house. And so Mars moving into your 9th house is in a harmonious aspect to who you are. It's in a fellow water sign. And so your 9th house revolves around topics of educational beliefs, thoughts, ideas. The 9th house is foreign people, places, and things. It's cross-cultural experiences and food, and it's legal matters, and it's publishing, it's taking a class, taking a workshop. Having Mars enter into your 9th house really wants to expand your horizons, both physically and mentally. This is your belief system. You might feel this strong urge to truly explore these new territories, whether it's through travel or higher education or diving into philosophical or spiritual studies. This is going to be a time that you're going to with Mars initiating things. Remember, Mars is sharp and it wants to cut. This will be a time to challenge your beliefs and broaden your understanding of the world, of listening to what other people have to say in order to understand and experience it. Mars's energy is going to push you to seek out new experience, new wisdom, new knowledge. You might find yourself more involved in legal matters. That could include publishing, public speaking, because the 9th house revolves around topics of not just education, but it's like taking that deep dive in order to understand how do they understand this, how do they experience this. It's foreign people, places, things. It's the broader concepts of things. Now, the retrograde shadow is going to indicate that the plans that are related to these pursuits, so let's say that you start to take a class or you want to travel abroad or you're starting these things, that you might need to come back and revisit them later. It suggests that it's important to remain flexible and have an open mind and know that adjustments are going to have to be made. Whenever a planet stations retrograde, it's rethink, review, rewind, revise. It's all of the words. It's going back and revisiting it later. And so this transit is encouraging you to take these bold steps, expand your horizons and your worldview into deeper beliefs, and look at pursuing goals that are you looking at new goals that are aligned with who you are, or are you following along with the status quo? Mars is going to ask you to be flexible to the adjustments, and Mars doesn't like to be flexible to anything. Mars wants to just cut to the chase and get to the end of it and take the bold steps, make the bold actions. And there's going to be these obstacles and these delays, and how bad do you want it? And so are you doing the same thing over and over, or are you ready to take the bold steps and try something new, to explore something else? Mars's energy can help you clarify your path. It can make it easier for you to make the necessary changes for your pursuits, that making sure that they are meaningful and fulfilling to who you are. This period is going to offer you this powerful opportunity for personal growth and transformation of inside spiritually who you are. It's going to require the willingness of you to be able to question your assumptions and embrace these new perspectives. Like, have an open mind. On September 6th, when Mars does enter into your ninth house, it will be this extended period of time focused on you wanting to take action, you needing to address any challenges as they come up and initiate these changes that have to do with your ideals, your philosophies, your beliefs, legal matters. It'll have you going back and reconsidering, reevaluating later the things that you are initiating now, and being flexible, having a willingness to revisit and looking at your approach to learning and studying and things that you thought that you knew, expanding your mind and your horizons, and now having to rethink about it and say that makes more sense to who I am, and that may change who you are. The goal of it is to help you to move forward with change and evolve and grow. And the key to navigating this transit successfully is to balance Mars's assertive passion and drive and energy with mindfulness, ensuring that all of the actions that you take now, they are truly aligned with your core values and your long-term goals for studying legal matters and connection with people far and wide. So Scorpio, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Sagittarius Sun and Sagittarius Rising, Mars is now going to be moving into your 8th house. The 8th house revolves around joint finances, shared assets. It's where you have your assets connected or invested with other people, places, and things. This could be intimacy with exes, with alimony and child support. This could be power dynamics with family members or with business partners or significant others. The 8th house is where we do deep psychological work. It is the house where you are invested with other people, places, and things. It's the taboo topics house. It's the house of the occult. It's where we go to connect and want to have these deep bonding experiences with other people. And it brings into focus matters of all of your shared resources, any power dynamics, and deep psychological transformation that you are going to be now entering into and working on. You might find yourself having to deal with issues that are related to debt, taxes, inheritances, or other financial matters that involve other people. This is where your resources are combined or tied up with other people. And so this transit can also intensify your intimate relationships with partners. This could be pushing you to explore these deeper levels of connection and you being more vulnerable. This is you saying, I am ready to explore. I want to have this deep bonding experience with you. I want to take this relationship to a deeper, more connected level. The 8th house is also associated with transformation and rebirth. It's death, birth, death, rebirth, and transformation. And so there can be this powerful time for you to look at and confront your fears and let go of what no longer serves you in regards to that. And for you to say, I need to embrace change. I need to, like a snake, shed my skin, change, grow, and evolve. Now, this retrograde shadow will suggest that any unresolved issues that you are initiating, like you're diving into now, that they may come back and resurface later. This could be a time when you are diving into these topics, and then they will come back at the end of December and January in order for you to revisit, reestablish, realign, refocus. Like this is confronting, and so requiring, like this is really requiring careful attention and a resolution to these matters that are close to your heart. Mars's energy in this house can be really intense. Mars wants to cut and sever. And in Cancer, it's matters of your heart. It's your intuition, your feelings. It's who you are, your emotions. And so it will be an opportunity for you to it's going to be you requiring the willingness to say, I have to face the darker aspects of life and in relationships that I have with other people. And am I ready to confront these power dynamics or power struggles of where does power lie? Am I avoiding the difficult conversations? Am I avoiding the transformation? Am I ready to confront my fears? The 8th house revolves around our fears, and it's the house of intimacy. And so are you avoiding these deep conversations? Because when it stations retrograde, that's when things are going to get brought back up again. The transit is going to offer you this opportunity to gain greater control over your life, but it's going to require courage and honesty on your part. Be mindful of how you manage your shared resources. This means your investments or anything that you have combined with other people. This could be exes, business partners, family members, anything that's legal, or actual partners. This period can bring about big financial challenges and these opportunities for growth for you. This is going to be a time for deep inner work and transformation that can really help you to pave the way for a more empowered and authentic life, for you to move forward with stepping in to your own skin and being who you authentically are, and not working from a space of fear. When Mars moves into your 8th house on September 6th, it will be here for this extended period of time, bringing out these topics for you to address, and then at the end of December and January for you to readdress in order for you to feel secure. It's going to require careful consideration and possibly a reevaluation of who you are and where do you invest your time, your effort, your energy, your money, your love, things that you are more important than cash. That's where it's going to have you take a second look at. It's you making the constructive changes in order to strengthen your foundations with other people, in order to feel secure and in order for you to confront any unresolved issues that are holding you back. Remember that this is going to require flexibility and patience and a willingness to revisit the topics. Go as far as you can and know that you have to stop and process, and then that end of December and January, you will be revisiting. Mars has this assertive energy, so be mindful so that you ensure that your actions are aligned with your true core values and your long-term goals of you connected with others, and where you invest yourself with money, values, resources, with people, places, and things. So Sagittarius, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Capricorn Sun and Capricorn Rising, Mars is now entering into your 7th house of partnership. The 7th house is you plus somebody else. It's the relationship house. It's you with a business partner, a significant other, clients. It's the house of love. It's the house of contractual relationships, contractual agreements. It's the house of how you handle conflict, legal matters. It's the house of public enemies, open enemies, exes. The 7th house is you and somebody else. And so this could be legal matters, public dealings, all types of relationships and partnerships. Knowing that Mars is now entering into your 7th house, it brings it brings the attention to your relationships, your partnerships, both personal and professional. This could be best friends and significant others. You might feel more assertive. You might feel more confrontational in your interactions, because Mars's energy, it heightens your desire to address any imbalances or any conflicts that you may have within these relationships. Mars is action, passion, and desire, and it wants to go after, cut, and sever. It wants to remove. And in the watery sign of Cancer, it's about feelings and intuition. In your case, it's friends and social circles. And this will be a time that you're going to be looking at imbalances or conflicts that you have within partnerships. This will be a time that you're going to want to take action in your relationships, whether it means deepening your commitment and saying, let's cut away this fluff, I'm ready to take this deeper, whether it's signing a contract, like let's say it's a business partner, let's say it's a marriage partner. Or this can be about setting boundaries, healthy boundaries, or addressing any unresolved issues that can come up that involve legal matters or public dealings. You might also find that you are involved more in negotiations, contracts, disputes, and Mars here wants to cut to the chase and get to the bottom of things. Now, when Mars enters here, it's going to go over the same area that the retrograde shadow is going to be. So knowing that the retrograde shadow is going to suggest that you go back, review, rethink, revise, anything that has to do with how do you approach these people with care and consideration? I need to reconnect with that person. I need to revise that contract. I need to renegotiate. This transit is going to say, I need to have care and consideration of how I approach people, because maybe they just don't always handle the direct approach because that hasn't been you in the past. And so some of these things that you're going to have to go back and revise later, indicating that this is going to be important for you to approach things with care and consideration. It's encouraging you to take this proactive approach in your life to all of your relationships. The 7th house is you plus somebody else, and be mindful of how are you asserting yourself with other people and not being the doormat. Mars's influence wants you to strengthen your partnerships, but it also requires this willingness to work through the challenges that can come from finding a common ground in order for us to work within. This period is going to offer this opportunity for growth, for transformation in all of your personal and professional relationships, but it's also going to demand patience and commitment and fairness and mutual respect, not just from you, but from the other persons that you are negotiating or working with. So on September 6th, when Mars does move into your partnership sector, you will feel this powerful drive for you to take action, to be assertive, to be bold, to address challenges, to initiate these changes that involve anything that you need in order to feel safe and secure, your family, your emotional well-being. Cancer is a water sign. It's about home and family, and you saying, I have to consider this carefully, knowing that asserting a healthy boundary here, are they going to be cut out? How am I going to do this? I need to make constructive changes that can strengthen these foundations and find this common ground. The things that you are doing at the beginning are what you're going to go back later, review, rethink, rewind, reestablish. And again, this can be contracts. This can be open enemies, exes, clients. Revisit and refine your approach to others, your approach to contracts, your approach to negotiations, your approach to compromise. The key to navigating this transit successfully is to try to balance Mars's assertive energy with the mindfulness of ensuring that all of your actions that you take now between you and other people, that they're aligned with your core values and that and that belong with your long-term goals of who you are, and making sure that your boundaries are set and that others do not encroach upon them and that you don't encroach upon anybody else's. So Capricorn, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For a private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Aquarius, Sun and Aquarius rising, Mars is now moving into your 6th house. The 6th house revolves around your day-to-day living. It's your health and wellness sector. It's your balance between home and work. It's your mental, physical, spiritual health, well-being. Pets are also found here. The 6th house is where I find a mentor or a guide. It could be like a shaman, a counselor. It's somebody that you speak to or share information with, and it's also what do you do in order to stay healthy. Now Mars moving into your 6th house is going to bring about this surge of passion and drive and energy for you to find a routine, to stick to the routine. This could be your work environment. This could be something that has to do with health and wellness of I'm going to walk the dog. I'm going to make sure I go to the yoga. I'm going to make sure I take time to meditate. I'm going to make sure that I take time to hit up my chiropractor. You feeling motivated in order to improve your physical well-being, your mind and your body. And you might start a new exercise routine at this time. You might change up your diet. You might address any health issues that have been lingering. Like, okay, it's finally time for me to get rid of that bad habit. Mars is here to say, I'm going to ensure that you follow through with it. This transit is going to encourage you to take action within your work life, whether it's means tackling these projects or improving your work environment or you taking on new responsibilities. Mars wants to initiate and go after and says, I can do this. I have the passion. I have the drive. I'm going to cut things away and find a way to get this done. Now, the 6th house also governs where we are of service to other people. And so you might find yourself more involved in helping of others or refining your daily habits so that they're more productive, so you're more efficient. It's like cutting out. It's like looking at your schedule and say, where can I cut some things away to make sure that I'm streamlined and more efficient in my day-to-day living? It's how can I be of service to others and support them, but I first have to take care of myself. Now, during the retrograde shadow, these are the same areas that are going to require a reassessment, a refocus, a second look, a review later. So know that whatever you're going to be initiating now or going after, you're going to be revamping. And so especially if you encounter like a burnout or health challenges, it's important to pace yourself and avoid taking on too much too quickly, because Mars can absolutely do that. Mars is like, yeah, I want to do this, this, and this, and I want to initiate it. And so there can be burnout. And so the Mars's energy can sometimes lead to like overexertion. And so this period is going to offer a powerful opportunity in order for you to establish healthier routines for yourself and improve your overall well-being through setting up a plan that actually works for you. It's going to require balance of your day-to-day living and putting in self-care, making sure that you are putting in your vitamins, your supplements, your self-care. The 6th house is I need to nurture and care for myself. And you taking a second look and saying, am I prioritizing my health? Am I looking at letting go of some of the work that I cannot handle because I've overextended myself? Can I balance my self-care? Am I prioritizing my daily responsibilities, or are they taking precedence, and is it too much for me? And having to refocus, review, revamp. Like Mars's influence is here to help you create this like more balanced and fulfilling your daily life. It's going to be essential for you to stop, pause, and tune in and listen to your body of what it is saying to you, and to make those necessary needs and adjustments now, because Mars can initiate. Mars can be the drive that you can say, I have to focus on my needs and desires, and I'm going to listen to what my body is saying to me first, so I don't experience that burnout again. I want to have success. So on September 6th, when Mars does go into your 6th house, there will be this extended time that is going to be, I want to initiate taking the bull by the horns, and I'm going to address any of those challenges. I'm going to quit that bad habit. I am going to focus on my health. I'm going to focus on my emotional well-being. I'm going to make those appointments. I'm going to get all of this done. And then the retrograde shadow period will have you reevaluating later on in later December and through January, because that'll be when the crunch is. Are you really taking care of your body, of your mind, and of your spirit? Or are you overextending yourself? Are you saying, I can do all of this in order to be of service to others and for your work, and not nurturing and caring for yourself? When Mars stations retrograde, it'll be, how can I rebalance where I was? Because you're setting the precedence now of what you want to reestablish later. Mars has this assertive energy, and you just have to be mindful, ensuring that your actions are aligned with your true goals and your true core values of mind, body, and spirit balance. So Aquarius, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe. So for Pisces Sun and Pisces Rising, Mars is now going to be entering into your 5th house. The 5th house is the house of creativity and love and children. It's where we take a risk. The 5th house is in a harmonious aspect to who you are. So we know that this will be you with other people. This could be your children or other people's children, or tapping into your inner child. The 5th house is about love affairs, and it's creative outlets and creative self-expression, and dating, and what you do for joy and pleasure. It's also the house of taking risks. And so Mars entering into your 5th house is going to bring about this surge of passion and creativity, and this desire, making this a heightened period of time of you wanting to focus on your love life, you wanting to focus on creative projects and your interactions with children, or tapping into feeling like a child, like your inner child. You might feel inspired to start a new artistic endeavor, or pursue a romantic relationship, or to spend more in time enjoying these hobbies or these leisure activities. The 5th house is art and music and all kinds of creative pursuits. And so this could be a time that you're going to want to express yourself more fully. Mars's energy is here to boost your confidence so that you can try new things. It's just go and explore it. Share your talents with the world. Dive into something new. Explore it. Take that risk. Particularly if you encounter anything that you have always wanted to do, like just try it. Mars's energy can boost your confidence. It can boost your desire, and you might want to share your talents with the world. You might want to join a club or a workshop, or to go and join other people to explore it fully. Now, when Mars knowing that where Mars is going to be, this is also going to be the area that Mars's retrograde shadow period is going to suggest that whatever you're starting now, it might require a reevaluation for later, a reconnect, a review. And so Mars stationing, the shadow period can be you encountering conflicts or possible challenges in your creative or romantic pursuits. I want to do this, and there could be a challenge. So know that you're going to initiate some things now, and then the end of December, the beginning of January, it will be, oh, how do I go back? How do I reevaluate that? How do I this person, I want to reconnect with them. Like, I met them, I just need to be bold in my actions. Especially if you encounter conflicts or challenges in your like creative or romantic pursuits, it's going to be important for you to like balance your enthusiasm with patience, and Mars does not want to be patient. Mars wants to lead, it wants to be impulsive in its actions, it wants to overexert, it just wants to go full force and act first, think later. And so this is going to require mindfulness and self-awareness of whatever you are diving into that you might go back, review later. Are you expressing yourself authentically is a question that I would ask myself. Are you seeking validation from others? Are you your true self, or are you doing things or joining activities because it makes somebody else happy? Mars's influence can help you tap into this creative potential that you have, and you making sure that you stay true to your core values and avoid getting caught up in the pursuit of external validation from other people and doing it because they say that you're good at it. Look, if you don't want to do it, don't. If you don't want to be with that person, don't. You do what is good for you. This is going to be a period of joyful self-expression and personal growth within you, and it's going to demand this balance and a willingness to reflect on your true desires, making sure that you are not putting yourself or your wants, needs, and desires on the back burner to make somebody else happy. When Mars moves into Cancer on September 6th, it will be you willing to take a risk, you willing to initiate, being specific of this is where I want drive and action and passion and desire. And this will be a time where you will go back and make these constructive changes that will strengthen your foundation, and needing to have a willingness to go back and revisit and refine your approach later on at the end of December and all of January when it stations retrograde. The key to navigating this transit successfully for you is to try to balance Mars's assertive energy with the mindfulness that comes with feelings and intuition, that all of your actions are aligned with your true values of things that you want to do, people that you want to be with, ways that you want to express yourself, your long-term goals. So Pisces, I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments below. Please join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I offer full moon and new moon astrology consultations. For private consultation, you can schedule that at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe.